some moves today by the Browns. They've signed a wide receiver Rashawn Henry, offensive tackle Hunter Thelford. You see those. They released Joe Haeg. Now, Haeg is an interesting guy. Didn't play a lot. They saved $2 million on the cap with that move. All right, people, social media, and Browns fans are drawing the question, Scott. Should we get our hopes up about DeAndre Hopkins? The people are making the Olympic-style leap. Well, we're saving $2 million. Are we doing that to get DeAndre Hopkins? And I know you also wrote an article about evaluating the possibility of signing him. Let's lump those two together.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think there's a connection between Joe Haeg and DeAndre Hopkins. Haeg, they brought him in to kind of be the third tackle a year ago. Chris Hubbard was coming off the injury. James Hudson III was, just entering his second year, struggled as a rookie. They brought Haeg in, and then he had multiple concussions in practice that really sidelined him for, if not all, most of last season. And then we haven't seen him on the field the last 2 weeks. So I was curious about that. I wondered if he would be here. I don't know if that's something he's still dealing with, whatever. But I just don't think the cap savings have anything to do with Hopkins. Now, if the Browns were going to make a move at Hopkins, you'd need as much cap space as possible, right? You'd have to clear cap space. You'd have to have the Haslams willing to spend even more cash. But when it comes to Hopkins, I still think it's unlikely that it happens. Number one is the money, right? I think Hopkins is going to want significant money. If OBJ signed for $15 million, wouldn't Hopkins want more and a longer deal, given that he played last year and OBJ did not? On top of that, the Browns have already spent significant resources at that position. It started with Amari Cooper, right? The trade, and you take on the $20 million a year contract. You trade for Elijah Moore. You go sign Marquise Goodwin. You still have Donovan Peoples-Jones. You draft Cedric Tillman with your first pick in April. I just feel like they already did a lot of work there. And not that Hopkins wouldn't benefit that room, but I don't know if he's necessary. And I think for the cost, I just don't know if it makes sense for the Browns.
Yeah, again, if that's going to help you bring out the best in Watson, it's probably a good idea. But again, the cost, if the Browns end up signing him, I think it's going to be because nobody met the asking price that he wants, which is OBJ money.